What's up, friends? Thank you so much. This last week has been awesome. My first week, I guess, on YouTube. I know it's not a crazy number, but over 100 subscribers to me in a week is pretty cool. I think. I know that's nowhere near like the big dogs, especially in the book space. But yeah, it's been fun making that switch over from Instagram. I mean, obviously, I'm still over on Instagram, still do a lot of stuff there, but being able to do some longer form stuff, especially here on YouTube, has been really refreshing just to be able to talk more as opposed to trying to keep it under 3 minutes. So, thank you everyone who subscribed, who's watching now. Um, if you are new, please click the subscribe button. I really appreciate that just to give me a little extra oomph to keep going. One thing I'm going to try to do is every weekend I'm going to post a weekly recap. This is something I've wanted to do on Instagram for a while. I just haven't been able to because of time limits. And really, there's just so much to say about what I've been reading and what I finished that I needed a place that I could talk about it longer. So I feel like this is a good place for that. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. This is going to be pretty unfiltered. So I'm going to try to keep editing to a minimal. So you're just going to get me rambling for like however long this takes. We'll see. I guess it depends how much I've read, right? Um, but yeah, if that's something you guys are enjoying, let me know. Like this video, leave a comment. I mean, I appreciate that stuff. I love getting back to people and talking about books. So, yeah, let's jump into what I've been reading this week. When it comes to physical reads or Kindle reads, it's a little harder for me this summer, right? I have three little kids, so there's not a lot of time to just sit down and read. So I do a lot of audio in the summer, but I have been trudging along reading my physical stuff, and I just started Buffalo Hunter Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. This isn't a book that's normally in my wheelhouse. It's not something you would necessarily associate with me if you follow me over on Instagram. But I've just had people that I trust who really like this book say it's worth digging into. So I'm only about 40 pages into it so far, but I've been really enjoying it so far. It's got a nice gritty feel, like it feels dark. The setting is just great. Like it's all encompassing at this time. So at least 40 pages in, the vibes are right. It feels like it's something I'm going to enjoy. So I've been having fun with it so far. I'm going to keep going along in it. Physical read right now in the summer usually takes me probably 3 or 4 days to get all the way through. So when I get through that, we'll talk about it more. But yeah, as of right now, I'm really enjoying it. So Will, thank you for pushing me to read this one. We'll see how it goes. Currently, I'm also doing a reread. I mean, technically, I'm listening this time. Bound in the Broken, so book 4 of Empires and Dust by Ryan Cahill. I have read the fourth book. I got the arc pretty early for it, so I read it digitally. But I was with Ryan this last weekend over at Worldcon. Super fun. And his agent for Podium was there too. So we're at the bar and talking. And I just basically said, give me the raw files. So yeah, this audiobook doesn't come out till late next month, I think. But man, I love the audio for this Bound in the Broken so far. Like, I think it enhances the story so well. It's one of those books, kind of like I do the same with Joe Abercrombie. I really love Joe Abercrombie, but I really love the audio for Joe Abercrombie. There's something about it that just works for me. And I feel the same with the Bound in the Broken. So even though I'd already read of Empires and Dust, I felt like I didn't get the full experience because I didn't have audio. So I begged for the audio. I got it sent over to me. It's like 6 gigs of raw files, so it took a while to download. But man, it is so good. I mean, Ryan, I feel like he gets flack sometimes for his first book of Blood and Fire, which I don't know why we don't give him grace on that because we give every other author grace on their first book usually. And that's the thing. Like for a debut book, it is still really good. Like because I'm such a big Aragon and Wheel of Time fan, like it felt like a good mix of those. And even though there's like obvious inspiring things in there from he's inspired by Wheel of Time or Aragon, it still feels like its own thing. It still feels special. And so I feel like some people get caught up on that first book. They read it, they either like it and they like it enough to go into the second one, then it clicks. When you get into the second one, that's when you're like, holy crap, this is so good. Ryan is awesome. I understand why people love this series so much. And really, you have to get to book 2 to have that feeling, I feel like. But I still feel like book 1 is good enough to get through. Like, if you're stuck on book 1, I know I'm kind of going off a tangent here, but that's kind of the point of this, right? If you're stuck on book 1 for The Bound and the Broken, you've just read of Blood and Fire, go to book 2, man. Ryan substantially increases his writing chops. It gets so much better in book two. And I enjoyed book one, but book two is when this becomes its own series. Like it becomes original, it feels fresh. And every book after that, Ryan has just got better and better and better. And this book is no different. Of Empires and Dust is so, so good. Like he has become, uh, he needs to be a household name in epic fantasy because this is as good as it gets. Like his lore is set, his world is set, you know his characters, you love his characters. All they do is grow. All they do is get more intriguing. The story gets deeper, the plot gets more mysterious, and this book just hits on every level, man. It is like Joey over on Instagram. He actually has a blurb on the back of the book. It says, "I feel like I'm treading on holy ground," and it feels like that reading this book. It feels like something extremely special. And when he goes traditional next year, he's got a publishing deal with the Broken Binding right now. So the first book is releasing traditionally next year. Ryan's going to blow up. Ryan's really going to blow up. So if you're not on The Bound and the Broken yet, get on it. I suggest the audio. The audio is fantastic. But yeah, any way you can consume The Bound and the Broken, I would do it. Um, whether you like the first book or not, just get to the second. This is one of those books like if it doesn't work on the first one, try the second. If that doesn't work, then there's something wrong with you. So yeah, I'm listening to the audio for The Bound and the Broken right now and for of Empires and Dust, and it's just so good. It's so good. I love Ryan. I love his work. He's such a great guy too, and I wish nothing but success for him, especially with the traditional release coming up. So if you have not read Ryan, go do it. Go do it. So yeah, Buffalo Hunter Hunter is my physical read right now. I'm listening to Of Empires and Dust, um, The Bound and the Broken Book 4 by Ryan Cahill. Both good. We're flying through this stuff, so I'm enjoying it a lot. Um, let's talk a little bit about the stuff that I finished, okay? Because they're both very different from my norm. So, firstly, last week I finished Manacled. This is by Sinlin Yu. This is the Dramini fan fiction. I've just had a lot of people asking me to read this book. I don't know if they thought it was just funny that I was going to read it or what I was going to get from it. And I'll be honest, I was very hesitant. I have no issues with spice. I have no issues with smut. Like if that's your thing, that's your thing. For me, I don't like that in books. I don't like it in TV shows. I don't like it in movies. It's not because I don't like sex. It's because I rarely feel like it adds to the story. So I went into this thinking it was just Draco and Hermione doing it. Like I just thought it was going to be a smutty book. Go read. It's going to be kind of funny, and people are going to laugh when I have to review it. And I came out on the other side of it with a whole different uh, mindset or appreciation for Harry Potter. And I give that to this book. Like, yes, there's a lot of issues with this book. You can tell it was released episodically. You can tell it needs an editor, and you can tell it needs to be trimmed up a ton, right? There are parts of it that are very sloggy. There are parts of it that you feel like you're rehashing stuff that already happened. And as fan fiction that was published on AO3, like that makes sense. But when it's together as a book, it's just a lot. It probably could have been half the size and it would have been just as impactful. Now, this book is getting a traditional release um, with the name Alchemized as opposed to Manacled, and they're changing it from Harry Potter. I'll have a comment on that in a second. But I came out on the end of this book realizing, okay, the spice was really well done. It was respectful. The trigger warnings were there, but I don't think anything was overdone. Everything was done very smoothly in this book. It read well. There was nothing that felt overburdening, nothing that felt gross, nothing like that. So that was the first surprise for me. The second surprise was the middle part of this book. So in this book, you're dropped in the middle of the story, right? So the first like 40% of this book feels very confusing. Like, why are we here? What's going on? And then you hit a spot at like 40% and it clicks. It starts to click. That's where you start going into the flashbacks. We're starting to see what's going on with the war between Voldemort and the Order of the Phoenix, right? And getting in there and talking about that is where this book really became interesting because it is such a cool character study on all these well-known characters, right? If you're my age, I was born in 1990, so obviously I was a big Harry Potter guy when I was younger. That's just books that I read, movies that I watched. So you feel like you have a good understanding of these characters, and Senlin Yu just totally changes everything we think about these characters, and I think it's in a good way. Like, it is so realistic. You're getting you feel like you're not there's no sugarcoating in this, right? Like, you're seeing the effects of war, of years long war. You're seeing the effects of friendships eroding. You're seeing the effects of just trauma and heartache in these characters, and they're changing based off of that. So, you're getting these views of Harry and these like Harry, Ron, Ginny, Hermione, um, everybody, Draco, they're completely different people because of what this war has done to them. And it is just so intriguing. It is so intriguing. And I enjoyed my time with this book quite a bit. Um, I don't think it's for everybody. I don't. It's very long. It's very long. Again, I think it could be half the length, honestly, and still have the same impact. But yeah, I don't think it's for everybody. For me, I enjoyed it, and that's what reading's about. So, like, if you're entertained, right? That's what we want. So, I was entertained. Now, when it comes to the traditional release and Alchemized that's coming out, I don't know how this works. I would be very interested. Like, I'm not going to deny Sinlin Yu and her character work and her plotting and kind of her dialogue. Like, all of that was good in Manacled. I don't know how that works without Harry Potter, though. For me, if there was no Harry Potter in this and it was just like a random backstory and characters that she made up, like, I don't think I would be as enthralled. I don't know if it would be a book that I would really enjoy. I think part of the fun for me was seeing like what Harry Potter looks like, what this world looks like with an alternate history. That was the part that I loved. Yes, the characters are great. Yes, the emotions are great. I'm not gonna like. There's really good writing in this book, but I don't know if I would be interested if it wasn't Harry Potter. So if you're a big Harry Potter fan and you want more Harry Potter, I would look into Manacled. Yeah, there's trigger warnings, but again, I think it's very done very respectfully. I think it's there for a reason. The same with the spice. I think it's there for a reason. So I appreciated that. I appreciate that, and as a Harry Potter fan, I enjoyed my time with it. Again, if you're not a Harry Potter fan, I would just skip this. I don't think I don't think if you're not a Harry Potter fan, you're gonna like it. Honestly, I don't think so. So yeah, Manacled, very different from normal stuff that I read. That's kind of the theme this week, right? Just trying different things, but yeah, Manacled, I enjoyed it. I have a like 3-minute review up on Instagram, but I mean, I probably talked about it more here. So you got my thoughts. You got my thoughts. Okay. Also finished Artificial Wisdom by Thomas R. Weaver. And this book blew my mind. It it actually blew my mind. I don't think I've read a more terrifying book in years. And it's not terrifying in the horror kind of way. It's terrifying in the way, holy crap, this could happen to us. And the repercussions are insane. So it what's so beautiful about this book is it feels the whole way through your chest just feels tight. You feel nervous, you feel tense. So if you don't like that anxiety in books and you don't like that dread that you feel when you're reading, I would not read this book because you're going to have it the whole way. But Thomas does a really great job how he structures this book. So it starts really big picture stuff. So you're intrigued from the big picture. And as the book goes on, it gets tighter and tighter and tighter into like a small little investigation we're in, right? And then as we go through that investigation, it gets bigger, bigger, bigger again. And then it's just the ending is just a huge, just like explosion. Like, holy crap, what just happened? So he does a good job, like easy he he hits you in the face, then he eases off a little bit, gives you a little bit of break, then the tension builds, and boom. The structure of this book is fantastic. It's so good. It made me just want to keep reading and reading. It's one of those books that if I was lived alone, I probably would have just read it all in one day because it's that compelling as you're reading through. He does that good of a job. When it comes to the story in itself, I don't want to talk about that. The basic premise is the world is dying basically of global warming because of what humans has done. They're trying to figure out how to fix that. Um, it's a pretty basic setup, but I feel like giving away any more than that takes away from if I give away more than that, it's going to take away from the excitement and the tension and like what I like so much about it because everything was such a surprise as you go through this book. Just nonstop twists, turns. You have no idea where this thing is going. And I loved it so much. I think it has mass appeal. I think anybody who reads, mysteries, thrillers, sci-fi, even like dystopian fantasy, like all of this stuff, it hits for everybody. I think this is one of those books that's going to have just huge mass appeal, and I could see this is gonna be a movie in the next 5 years, I would bet. I think the script could be that good, the story's that good, the characters are that good. I would be on the lookout for that. So, yes, Artificial Wisdom by Thomas R. Weaver is one of my favorite reads of the year. It locked me in, man. I loved it. I loved it. Manacled, Artificial Wisdom, those are the 2 that I finished this week. Again, interesting stuff. Usually I'm more on the fantasy side, but, we'll have that next week. So, yeah, overall, really good reading week. I was at Worldcon, the week before this, so, got to see a bunch of authors that I love, hang out with, indie authors that I really like, so and see some other bookish people, so it was fun. It was fun and, yeah, interesting reads, but, yeah, overall, really good week. If you got this far, thank you so much for hanging out and listening. Let me know in the comments or just message me, like, is does this format work for you? Is this like interesting? Do you like listening to this? Because I want to know, right? If you like doing it, I'll keep doing it for sure. Because I could talk for hours on a book that I've read. So it's nice to just get some stuff out. And again, I appreciate you so much if you got this far. I appreciate you even if you watch half of it, honestly. Um, but yeah, please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, like, go find me on Instagram. I'm happy to talk. I love talking to other readers. And yeah, that's the goal. And that's what I want to do here. So keep reading, and I hope you all have a great week.